Hey, well, I haven't been filming very much lately because, as you can probably tell from my voice, I have been sick, and it's this awful COVID, which I am someone who did get vaccinated, although I missed my latest booster. Huh. And gosh, it was like the day after the holiday of Christmas that my son came down sick. And then about a day later, I started feeling sick. And pretty soon, everyone, all of my kids, except for my oldest son who wasn't here, yeah, we all came down with COVID. And it's a really awful variant of COVID right now because I have had COVID before, even with the vaccinations. And I think it just took me like a day of feeling miserable. And then I began to feel better. So I'm going to take a sip of my tea here. I have been pretty much in bed for 4 days, which is completely unlike me. I am very active and a really healthy person too. I take vitamins and some supplements, but no daily medication. And I have just been knocked over by this COVID. So I'm making this video today because I'm finally out of bed. I have less body aches and feel a little bit more like eating. I was kind of just living on toast and tea for a long time. And so now I'm trying to eat some other foods, although there's even some stomach upset too with this COVID, I'll say. But I think, I'm healing. I'm healing. And what I want to share with my audience out there, members and others of my channel, is we all have to just take care of ourselves. I don't even know where I picked up this COVID. I mean, more than likely it was maybe through some Christmas shopping, or my son had been out shopping the day before Christmas, I think, and you just never know. I mean, at least where I live in Vermont, there's no mask mandate anymore. We're almost in 2024, and I think people feel safer. But I think we all really need to be careful because it did hit me really hard. And it hit my son really hard too. And he's a very healthy 31-year-old. So we all have to take care of ourselves. So let me tell you, as of last night, I was able to crawl out of bed, watched a movie, and I began to paint again. And that's something else for me, as you might already know, is total self-care. It's a way for me to release and relax and even restore my energy. I don't know why my camera keeps going off here. That's very odd. But I'm going to show you some of the paintings that I finished. These had been started before and I finished them. And so this is one here. I'll just hold it up, move it around. You can kind of see the colors. And you can see the way I work. It's very abstract, but you can see the mountains. You can see the mountain tops probably. And it just feels so good. I work on the floor and I just take my knives, my palette knives, and paint and scrape the color and let that dry, which I think I only used acrylics with these because they dry faster too, much, much faster. And then I can just layer on another layer of paint. So here's another one. I'll move it across the screen. back it up a little bit, you can kind of see. And there's like 3 different kinds of browns and reddish browns in this one. And I actually just located, I was buried under all my tubes. This is like a yellow, but it's a very, very muted kind of yellow, which I love. So I don't know if any of you follow artists, but one of my favorites has always been Wolf Kahn and his work, and his wife was Emily Mason, and I really love her work. I have a couple of her books, and she just lets the colors flow across, in a total non-objective, non-representational fashion. Here's another one I'll show you. And I emulate the way she creates her images. The only difference with mine, I will say, one of the major differences is that I do start with this line of the mountains that you can see. That line grounds me, and it kind of helps me to have a place to start on the surface. So these 3 paintings are about the same size. I am hoping my painting space is the sunroom in our log house, but someday I hope to have a bigger space, because I used to paint really huge canvases and panels, and I want to do that again, and also be working more with spray paint and not have to worry about the room that I'm painting in getting messy or dirty in some way. So I want to apologize. My camera keeps, I don't know, it keeps getting dark and going off. I've never had that happen before, but I'm trying to keep it going. So I wanted to share that with you. That was my healing from COVID, the painting, as well as so much sleep. I don't think I've ever slept so much in 4 days. And I love to take naps. Even when I'm very healthy, I take a nap. But my nap became like 3 hours long. It's like I slept so much. And I really have had an enormous amount of tea and water and juice. And you can find in my YouTube videos another recording I did the very first time I got COVID. I also did an African remedy that was phenomenal. This time we all became so sick that we didn't really have the ingredients of like fresh pineapple and limes and lemons in our house. So I made do with what we had. And, I think the key is, is the steaming and letting the toxins and the virus just kind of sweat out of your body, which is kind of what a fever does too. But I do hope that anyone watching this the big takeaway is, do take care of yourself, because no matter how healthy you are, how many vitamins you take, how many vaccinations you might get or not get, whatever, you could still come down with this awful variant of COVID. And if it happens, just be kind to yourself. I was really annoyed when I started getting sick, thinking, oh no, this is my whole holiday week is going to be destroyed. But it is what it is, right? Whenever we get sick, no matter what it might be, a simple cold needs us to pay attention and let our body rest. And even as I was lying there, sleeping this whole thing off, I kept reminding myself, I had to remind myself that it's okay that you're not making a video, that you're not doing your writing. I had to cancel all my clients. I tried the first day to keep appointments, but found out I couldn't even sit on a Zoom call. I was so sick. So acknowledge that, and don't be afraid to just cancel and cut back your schedule. You've got to do that. I had to do that. And I know it's really hard for me to admit when I'm sick and I need to rest. So I'm sharing that with you in hopes that it'll help you too. And I do hope 2024, a brand new year, is so healthy for all of us. Happy New Year.